Formula Masters on Brands Hatch? Sign me up. I was really happy when I saw this combination pop up in the multiplayer browser and I just had to go for it. I mean, I don't think it's any secret that I like the Formula Masters, but also Brands Hatch is one of my favorite tracks. I'm really happy that it made its way back into Forza Motorsport. And, well, qualifying here did go okay. I was qualifying in P4, and tire choice, I really didn't know if hard tires would work, but it seemed like other people were also choosing that, so it was like, it might. 10 laps, hopefully these will last, but I think they will. And so let's see. Getting off the line okay here, but not great. At least someone else behind did get a better start, and there's 2 people on my inside. That was close. Did you see that on the radar? That was, well, I'm not quite sure what happened, but luckily I wasn't involved. And we kept our position, so good start so far. Let's try to keep it that way. And, oh well, did brake a little bit late for this corner. It seems like guys behind also not making that all too well, so it looks like we can still keep our position here, but definitely lost a little bit of pace to the guys in front. Let's see if we can maybe catch that back up. But yeah, Brands Hatch, as I said, one of my favorite tracks. Definitely my favorite British track. Well, I don't know. Oh, what was that? I think there was some bumping going on. That looked very unfortunate. Once again, lucky that I didn't really get involved in that. And that was an off track on that part of the track is kind of tricky. And whoa, 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 whoa. Come on. If you want to go on the inside there, then I don't know. Maybe I didn't leave him enough space, but that was a weird place to attack. But Brands Hatch is notorious for being very difficult to overtake on, so maybe thought he wanted to take his chance there, but it's the first lap, so I think you should be a little bit more careful here. But then again, like sometimes I also am not that careful, so yeah. But that brings us into P3 actually. So let's see if we can keep this up. There's definitely someone behind, kind of close, and had to take a little bit of careful line because I didn't really want to bump into the guy in front, and did in turn get bumped into the back by the guy, yeah. He's very close behind and definitely got a better exit out of this corner, so he's now on my inside. Let's be careful here. Oh, yeah. I'll just let him through. I didn't really want to bump into the back of him here. I find it really difficult to judge where the car starts here because you don't really see your front splitter. You don't see it at all. A little bit to the sides of the canopy, is that what it's called? I don't know. But like where you can see the tires, there's a little bit of the front splitter sticking out, but it's difficult to judge where exactly your car starts. Maybe it's better to judge that by the radar. And by the way, radar is still so awesome to have this. And there's someone behind me, and there's someone off in the grass. Okay. Didn't really see if there was any bumping going on by the guy that is now in P1, maybe? Not sure, but let's try to stick to our racing here. And hopefully make this a good race. As I said, really like Brands Hatch. Silverstone also a very great track. And from the British tracks, I would say Donington is number 3 for me. But Brands Hatch, probably number 1. Like in some cars, it's a little bit difficult because of, as I said, difficult to overtake. It's a narrow track. Silverstone lends itself more to at least like big grids, and well, I think it probably has a little bit better racing so that you also can get some overtaking done and stuff like that. But I think with these cars, they are not very big. I mean, they are quite small. So I think Brands Hatch is really fitting actually. And yeah, I just like the layout and the driving on this track. And still the Formula Masters are pretty amazing. It's basically the same setup that I used in the last video that I made on these cars, where I talked about the fact that this series, the Formula Master series, is now permanent in multiplayer, which I still am very happy about. Always something that I like to jump in from time to time. Taking that corner kind of well, I think. least we can keep up with the guy in P2 here. Someone else behind, but he's like 2 seconds behind. Oh no. Okay, that was a little bit stupid. Would be a little bit more careful. I mean, I don't know. It might be because I am still rusty, but it's also something I think that happens to me just from time to time because I don't pay enough attention if I'm racing against other people. Or I'm paying attention to the wrong things. I mean, I think a lot of you can relate. If you're just driving on your own, it's very easy to just do the racing line and hit your apexes all the time, but yeah, if other people are on track and you're like me and get distracted very easily, and it's sometimes difficult. Was a rookie mistake for sure. And actually the guy behind has really caught up. And we lost out like, probably a second to the guy in front. But the guy behind also, I think, did catch up in addition to just catching up because I made a mistake. So we really need to be careful now with him behind me. And this is, I didn't change a lot on the setup. It's basically the same, I just increased aerodynamics both in the front and the back because this track doesn't really need that much high speed. There's just one straight basically. Oh, guy in front sliding around and on the grass as well, and that leads us into P2. Okay. And by the way, if you're enjoying these kinds of videos and want to see more, just me racing and doing a little bit of commentary over it, then let me know in the comments or give the video a like so that I know that you want to see more of this. I'm still, well, thinking about what I want to do. I probably will have a variety of things on the channel. And oh, now I need to be careful here. Taking the inside line to defend. But yeah, still want to do variety, but I still want to get your thoughts and your feedback on the stuff that I do, so that, I mean, I'm obviously gonna race, but if these kinds of commentaries are not all that interesting, then just let me know, and I can do something else maybe. Yeah, I'm just gonna let him through here. But we are faster. We did get a better exit. And once again, I didn't want to bump him. I mean, nothing happened there, but still, obviously a little bit annoying. So now on the outside, on this corner, and whoa, 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 great. Let's take a look in the replay shortly. And yeah, here you can see in the replay, or you can see, look at this. I didn't touch him here. So let's take a look in game again. You will be able to see and hear. He bumped into me for sure and didn't leave me any space, so yeah, that was unfortunate. Oh god, and now I have to get back on track here without hitting anyone else. Oh god, this is difficult. Oh, that was close once again. And that now leaves us in P7. That was not great. And I don't know what it was, like maybe... I'm not quite sure. In the replay it looked like there was no contact at all, but I definitely heard it, felt it, and I mean it was there. But I don't think the guy did he get a penalty? I'm not quite sure. Couldn't really see, but I mean, was it the guy that is now in P1? It should be, right? So no, actually no, that was someone else. So yeah, I don't know. That was kind of frustrating, I have to say. Oh boy, what am I doing? That's something that I kind of noticed, like in comparison to ACC, which I also did try out again. Forza Motorsport feels really slidey, at least in some cars, and well, I don't know if it's the tuning, but I didn't really change anything. I'm just using what I had back then. I also noticed this in the GT cars, that I was really fighting the car and just the rear stepping out all the time. It's not as bad in these cars. They are kind of low power, they are not very heavy, but I mean this is still comparatively slow, I would say. But yeah, it's something that I noticed. I don't know if anything changed with Forza. Probably not. Let me know if there's anything that I missed. Or if this is just the way Forza has always been and I just had gotten used to it. But this is not something that I have a problem with in ACC, where I just have to fight the car and the rear stepping out all the time, having to counter steer like a lot. Might show you one of my GT races that I had, which was quite terrible, I have to say. But I was really fighting the car all the time, and I didn't really know why. But as I said, here it's still quite fine. But yeah, we are now, because everyone else behind seemingly DNF'd, we are in P7, which is the last place. So let's see if we can catch up at all during the rest of this race. And we are actually now in the last lap, and no, we couldn't really catch up. Though, actually, someone made a mistake in front. Can we maybe catch him? By the way, the hard tires did last. Not quite sure. There were some people that did choose mediums, at least it seemed like. But no one did go to the pits, so either these guys quit or... yeah, not quite sure, but hard tires definitely were enough for this. And this is going to be close with the penalties. Maybe one position gained because of penalties. I did pick up 2 penalties because of off-tracks. Kind of low ones, so not really bad, but... yeah, looked like we did close it out by not coming in last of the guys that actually still were driving. But yeah, overall, this race could have been pretty good. Just unfortunate that I did get bumped, and yeah, well, the guy just didn't leave me enough space there and pushed me off the track, and really tough to get out of that gravel trap. So yeah, what can you do? It happens. So yeah, I think this is where I will leave it at. A little bit of a shorter video today. Let me know what you think of that, if that's okay for you, or if you maybe want to have like 2 races of this kind of length in a video. Let me know, and well, be free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would really help me out. Other than that, I just want to thank you a lot for watching. I've been HD Racing. See you in the next one.